Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. We have a lot to talk about on today's program, so I'm going to get straight into it with our first guest, John Boyd Jr. He's with a company called The Boyd Company. They are in the relocation business, and they understand what's happening out there in terms of the economy, what's working out there, not only nationally but internationally. And they're part of our ongoing series that we're doing on why Texas' environment is so good economically. And John, welcome to the program. And I said you're in relocation service, so it sounds like you're a U-Haul, and that's not accurate. You actually are involved in the intelligence side of that. Tell us a little bit about exactly what the Boyd Company does.
Yes, Kevin, it's great to be with you this morning.
You bet.
Our firm counsels major corporations where to locate their facilities throughout North America.
And you do that by providing research, intelligence, that type of things.
Yes. Site selection is both a science and an art. The science is really the comparative analytical analysis, measuring one state's business costs and tax climates and regulatory environment versus other states. And, of course, the qualitative aspects of site selection. Where do companies want to recruit the best labor market and have the best skill sets and access to things like a public transportation infrastructure or a major port.
Right. And you're out of New Jersey, correct?
Yes, we're based in Princeton, New Jersey. This year is actually our firm's 40th anniversary.
Congratulations.
And we've been very active in Texas over the past 40 years.
Yeah, I imagine. And how large is your business, by the way, just out of curiosity?
I'm sorry?
How large is the Boyd Company?
Yeah, we have 6 employees, and we're able to get behind the scenes very, very quickly. And we have a roster of Fortune 500 clients, and we're able to sit down and gain clear access also to leading members of governors and mayors to marshal incentives on behalf of our clients.
Yeah, very good. So tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are of the states in general. Obviously, I'm assuming there's first of all, good logistics and human capital availability, certainly tax and regulatory laws, they play a role. But there's also a certain need for the place to fit the company itself, the genre of the company itself. Isn't that true?
Yeah, there's really a myriad of site selection variables that come into play. Business costs continues to be a major site selection variable. Of course, that works to Texas's advantage. Texas enjoys some of the lowest operating costs in the 50 states. The right-to-work status is something that's critical. Again, Texas is working with that national trend. Companies prefer to be in right-to-work states. Another major component here is leadership. The Houston market benefits from very good leadership. The Houston Economic Development Partnership is regarded very favorably in corporate boardrooms throughout North America. The mayor, the outgoing mayor, has done a good job in investing in Houston's transportation infrastructure, so Mayor Parker gets credit for that. And, of course, Governor Abbott, who is smart to continue to pass tax cuts, and he's also smart to continue Governor Perry's practice of visiting states, meeting with executives, and advocating for Texas.
No question about it.
Connecticut, in fact, pitching Texas as a place for General Electric to consider.
Yeah, no question about it. And, by the way, if people wonder if taxes matter, all you have to do is look at General Electric's warning shot, over the state of Connecticut's bow. And all you have to do is look at the top 1% that really took flight from Maryland and New York over the last decade, when it seems like those states were trying to commit economic genocide against those groups. Taxes matter, don't they?
Taxes sure do matter, and this is the second corporate income tax rate increase in Connecticut under Governor Malloy's watch. And companies like GE, Aetna, Travelers are reevaluating their presence in Connecticut. Texas should be on the short list. We see new competition emerging for Texas. Northern Nevada is on the radar screen like never before. A lot of it has to do with Tesla's high-profile site selection search that really put Nevada's premier business climate in the national spotlight. Our firm recently identified Minden, Nevada, as one of the premier suburban office markets in North America. And that's a type of market that we see GE, for example, considering. Another reason why that's true, GE already has a facility in Minden, in Douglas County, Nevada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting to see what's happening. So, when how often does Texas come up as a viable location in your discussions for site relocations?
Texas continues to be on the short list for a number of office projects, energy industry projects, distribution and advanced manufacturing. Any credible site selection search today includes a number of Texas markets, and that's because you're working with a lot of national trends here favoring right-to-work, low-cost areas. And again, your governor gets very high marks. We see the port really being an engine of commerce like never before for the Houston market over the next decade or so. A lot of that will be related to the Panama Canal expansion and increased container traffic coming into the port of Houston. Also, the easing of relations with Cuba. We see the port of Houston especially positioned to really play a major role in importing fresh fruits and vegetables from Latin America and also Cuba.
Yeah, very, very good. I think it's extremely, this is a very timely topic. I really like your insight. Where are people leaving from? Where are people trying to get out of?
Right. The prohibitively expensive Northeast marketplace continues to lose industry. States like Connecticut, states like New York, Massachusetts, of course, California continues to lose industry. These are states that are trying to tax their way to balance budgets. Of course, we know that that's not the way to grow economies. The states that are attracting industry today, states like Indiana, Texas, Nevada, Ohio even, these are states that are cutting taxes, moving towards right-to-work status, and doing the difficult and politically contentious work of pension reform.
Yeah.
Pension reform is emerging as a major site selection variable today.
That's why Indiana has become Wisconsin's become one of the hottest states in the Midwest. When you see a guy like Scott Walker roll up his sleeves and do what he's done there.
Absolutely. I mean, the idea that a state like Michigan or Wisconsin could become a right-to-work state.
Unbelievable.
It just signals the role of leadership, and states need strong governors to do that and make the case. And the electorate understands that, look, if we want to maintain a viable middle class and be on the radar screen for manufacturing projects that are reshoring back from Mexico and China, then we need to consider right to work. And we see other states like Delaware and New Mexico now beginning the process. Again, it's very politically contentious, but we see states now doing the hard work and exploring the possibility of becoming right to work.
Yeah, and it's really pragmatic. The 10 states with the worst job environments are also all, with the exception of one, are all closed union shop states, and it's the exact opposite of the top 10 states, all of which are right-to-work states. And so, I think the writing's on the wall.
That's right. I mean, half the states today are right-to-work states.
And they're not adding any new closed union shop states, even though we have the most pro-union president in decades.
That's exactly right.
And I think that's,
we always said there's 50 states. It's now just the 50 laboratories.
Yeah.
Right. The states that are attracting industry today are states that are right-to-work states. Illinois. Who would ever think Illinois? There'd be a viable discussion in Illinois of all places about right to work. The new governor there wants to do right to work.
Yeah.
So it's very, very exciting.
It is exciting. Well, I'm going to get you back on because I only began to scratch the surface. So if you're game for that, we're going to have a follow-up interview.
Thanks a lot.
But John Boyd, very good stuff. John Boyd Jr., he's with the Boyd Company, theboydcompany.com. You all know I'm working on a book, all the listeners know, on why businesses has moved to Texas. This interview shows that, and a lot of the content for this interview will be in that book. Thanks so much, John.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a great day.
You too. When we come back, much more for you right here on The Price of Business.